everyone. Well, today I have come to Solothurn. Now, I've not been to Solothurn before, and it's a really fascinating place. I've done some research, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. Right now, I'm actually walking across the bridge that connects the kind of new town to the old town, which is where I'm going to explore the old town of Solothurn. It's really unique, and like a lot of the places I've been to and been showing you, as medieval towns or villages in Switzerland, this is actually one that is more famous and known for its Baroque architecture and housing. And I'm really fascinated. I'm not a historian, obviously, but I did some research and discovered the kind of ages that history has unfolded, and it's totally fascinating. I wish I had a better memory, but I will write it down as best I can in the description so that you'll understand kind of what I'm looking at here. But basically the medieval time, which I'm really fascinated with, mostly because of the architecture and the doors, was like from 500 to 1500 AD. And then there was a transition, and then the Baroque period started in 1700 and went to 1800. And it was lots to do with the religious environment and all kinds of other priorities that shifted the architecture from one kind of element and design to the next. So, but this town is apparently very well known for its Baroque architecture. I'm so excited. Very interesting discovery. So I'm walking over the river right now to take a picture to show you what I'm seeing, and then when I get into the old town, I'll share with you the adventures there. Okay, so hold on, here's the river, and it's very, very wide. Super wide, and some construction, and then this beautiful church which I'm going to go and explore. But Solothurn. Okay, I walked just a couple of hundred yards, and the first thing that hits me is this amazing church. Now, I do think that Solothurn is famous for this church and its Baroque architecture, and the inside is apparently breathtaking. So I'm walking up a little hill that's taking me to this church, which is beautiful. It's kind of a rainy day, but everything's sparkling. It's great. Okay, walking up to the church. It's much larger than I thought. It's really beautiful, and the little stairs leading up to the entrance. So beautiful. Wow, this is just a massive structure. Really, really beautiful. And then leading into the old town. Okay, so this is the beginning of the old town fountain, and already some really interesting buildings. But I'm going to go into this church and see what I can find. It's amazing. Oh my goodness, what a cool town. I am in my element here. The doors are just incredible. They're so interesting. And the buildings I've seen so far are totally unique. But here's some of the other doors. Whoa, doors of Solothurn. Well, there's several different levels to this town, and I've just come up a side street and discovered this little area. Very, very interesting place. Hi everyone, well, it's been a great day in Solothurn. I've taken some wonderful pictures. It is a beautiful Baroque town, and there are some medieval elements too, but I learned something today that is fascinating, and I want to share it with you. I'm going to do a little bit longer video on this because it's so interesting to me, but it turns out that the medieval history, as I said, was like from 500 to 1500 AD, and then there was the Enlightenment, and the Baroque era started in 1700, so 17 to 1800. And it turns out that if you lived in medieval times between 500 and about 1300 1300, you did not have a mirror. There were no mirrors. Apparently in Rome, the Roman women had small handheld mirrors. That's like 300 AD, but then they stopped manufacturing them. And so during medieval time, there were no mirrors available. So you didn't know what you looked like. You know, you were like never aging. You were just you all through your life. I guess you could look in a puddle to see what you looked like. But yeah, and then it wasn't until 1300 when they started to make mirrors again in Italy that, the mirrors became commonplace. And then in the Baroque era, they were, of course, there. But yeah, I thought that was most fascinating. And I started reflecting on what life would be like if you did not have a mirror. Can you imagine? Like you'd have no concept that you were getting older, no sense that you were changing. You would just be you, and you wouldn't be judged by how you looked, but maybe what you could do or just who you were. Just a fascinating time in history. So anyway, medieval times were, I never thought about it. I've studied so much of medieval history and I love the doors and the architecture, but it never occurred to me the average person did not have a mirror to look at themselves. It's amazing. Anyway, off home now, but I hope you enjoyed this little visit to Solothurn. Take care, everybody. Lots of love.